This is BBC World News with me, Matthew Amrediwala, live from Westminster. Britain has a hung parliament, but Theresa May vows to stay on as Prime Minister despite a disastrous night at the polls. Her governing Conservative Party have lost their majority. She'll form a minority government with the help from Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party.
I have just been to see Her Majesty the Queen, and I will now form a government that can provide certainty and lead Britain forward at this critical time for our country.
Celebrations for the opposition Labour Party. It's unexpected gains. Their leader Jeremy Corbyn says the UK wants change.
People voted for hope. Young people and old people all came together yesterday. Very high turnout, huge increase in the Labour vote, and they did it because they want to see things done differently and they want hope in their lives.
And what about Brexit? Mrs May says talks on leaving the European Union will continue as planned, but EU leaders have expressed concern.
I do hope that the result of the elections will have no major impact on the negotiations we are desperately waiting for.
Hello from Westminster. You're watching a BBC News special here on BBC World News, where the British Prime Minister Theresa May has announced she's forming a new government despite losing her majority on Thursday in that snap election she'd called in anticipation of securing a landslide victory. She said she would work in particular with the Democratic Unionists, or DUP, a party from Northern Ireland. It's not clear what the DUP will get in return. Mrs May said crucial Brexit talks would start in 10 days' time, a schedule that some had called into question. And she promised to boost security by cracking down on Islamist extremism. First, on an extraordinary political night, here's Eleanor Garnier.
All right, so good to have you here, and people write, you see, I cannot connect you. And what I had to write to those people who cannot connect to me, I have to write, it's authentic American website. So use your English knowledge to your best. So use your English knowledge to your best. Okay. All right. Excellent. And I'm very happy to see you here. So, yeah, you wanted to say something, please?
Good evening.
Good evening to you. So, I would like you to introduce yourselves, to say a couple of words about, I know Guzel. What is that?
I'm Diana from Crimea.
What's that?
I'm Diana from Crimea.
Okay, good. So you see, I found your course, he is writing, but I cannot take part in it. So what would you recommend this person? I will just, whatever you say, I will just type for him back. Yeah. I'm sorry. I can relay. I can pass the advice from the people present. From the people present in the class. So what would you recommend to this person?
Click the присоединиться.
The what?
The button присоединиться.
So people say push the join the conference button. Alright, but just forget about this person, that's alright. So, just please remind me about yourself. What's your name, where are you from, and what's new about you, whatever you want to say. Please.
I'm Diana, and I'm going to take an exam, and I'm very afraid of English exam because I don't know a lot of writing skills.
A lot of what?
Writing skills, and I'm afraid of essay part.
Okay, I will tell you a little bit about that. So, Diana, you mean that your exam will be June 13th, correct? And then you will take the oral part June 15th or 16th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
15 oral part in 15.
Okay, good. Guzel, so please introduce yourself.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes?
Hello?
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay, great. My name is Gazelle, as you know. I'm from Kazan. Now I'm a student. I'm only on the first grade. I passed almost all my examinations. Today I had the examination of practical course of French language, and I passed it. And so now I'm also waiting for my English examination, but it's not going to be so difficult, and I'm not worried about it at all. And as for Diana, I think I remember for me writing wasn't that difficult. For me, the most terrifying part of that examination was only picking. But yeah, it depends. So as for the news, I'm going to be volunteering a Cup of Confederation. It's going to take place in our city. There's going to be lots of football teams from 8 countries, so it's great for practicing English and also French language. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to see you back. You're always welcome to our classes, and I'm very happy to see you here. Well, Diana, what I wanted to share with you was, let me see. So he's this no. Yeah. You have to start. You have to start over again. Okay, I will just turn on because I don't have time to answer this person. So, what I wanted to tell to Diana. So, Diana, this is the link which I will provide for you. Right?
I have found this site, and I sent this woman my summer says.
So what did she say? Say it again. Your sound is breaking.
I know this site, yes.
And did you send your essay to her?
I have sent 2 essays, and I have a lot of recommendations. It's very good, but I have found this site very late.
Okay, I understand. But what I wanted to say is that, in my opinion, I might be wrong. In my opinion, this is a pretty good teacher. She's from St. Petersburg, and I've known her for maybe some 3 years already, and she's been helping the students a lot with her advice, with her recommendations and her corrections, free of charge. So if you want to get prepared in a better way for the Russian national exam for the writing part, so you have to work with this lady. Why and again, what I wanted to say is I'm not that very concerned about your Russian national exam, because you know, lots of questions about the Russian national exam is not about the English language in particular. It's about, let's say, how to make your paper correct in a way which we call I don't know, I cannot find the correct word in English, like to formalize the paperwork. And you know, mostly what you are afraid of, it's not about your English, it's about how you formalize. It's the question, most of the questions are how many paragraphs should I write? Is it correct to write a couple of sentences only with the opposite opinion? Or what else? Should I start with the title of the essay? Well, ladies, for me, it absolutely doesn't matter. I understand that you are afraid of the things, like, you know, for example, let's say the title of the essay is yeah, today we'll talk about the mishaps, or something went wrong. So let's say some people say, I'm just thinking together with you, some people think that aging is the biggest problem of the 21st century. Okay, so let's say that this is the title of your topic, or the title of your essay, the subject of your essay. So what usually people ask, they ask, should I copy this title into my essay? You know, I can answer that for me it doesn't matter at all. For me, what is the most important is how you speak English, how you write in English, how good you can convey, relate your ideas in English. That's the most important for me, and it's absolutely, I don't care whether you will copy this title into your essay or not. I don't worry about that. So that is why what I'm trying to say to you, Diana, is think mostly about your English. For me, it's the biggest thing. And today we'll try and talk over again about different things in English, like the disasters of the 21st century, or mishaps, or problems, or issues, whatever you call it. So what I want you to do is just to to come up with some ideas. This is the most important for me. How can you give communicate some ideas to other people so that other people understand what you want to say? That's, for me, that's the most important part. Okay, so that is why I ask you not to be worried. You know, if you will be punished or penalized, or you will lose some points in your final score if you lose because you didn't write the correct number of paragraphs, or you didn't write the title of the essay. And if you just lose some points because of that, I would tell you, forget about that, don't worry. I know that your English is good, I know that you can speak good English, I know that you can communicate your ideas to other people. This is the most important part. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, thank you. But I want to go to the university. And
yeah.
Either the Russian Federation exam is the final in our life.
Well, again, the sound of your voice is breaking all the time, and so that is why I wouldn't say that I understand everything which you say. But again, you know, this is a chance, and this is your piece of luck. So what I'm trying to say is, if your fortune or if your destiny is to study in this Russian university, you will study. If you do not have this lot or this destiny, this fortune to study there, so probably your luck, your fortune is to study somewhere abroad in a different university. Let's say maybe, I don't know, maybe well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't pronounce any country because some people may think that I'm not politically correct. But why wouldn't you study in a foreign university? Why not? So just do not be that much afraid of what is going on with you. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So what I want you to do today is I would like to talk about so-called mishaps. Mishaps. This is if things went wrong. So that's the first question to you. It will be a kind of a short narrative. I'm just trying to give you some new vocabulary, short narrative, and this narrative will be, it happened to me. It happened to me. Okay, so the first question to you is, what mishaps or mishappenings can you think of when things went wrong? That something happened to you which was definitely wrong. Can you think of it? Okay, just Guzel, you can start if you want to.
It is a pretty difficult question. I don't know, lots of things go wrong all the time. I don't concentrate my attention on it.
Guzel, you know me. I have a textbook from Cambridge which is called Master Class, and this is for the first certificate in English. That means that this is this is a little bit above. No, it's not above. It's almost the same that they want to get you off for the Russian national exam. So, I just opened it and it says, it happened to me, a narrative about the mishaps if things went wrong. So ask your students, what went wrong with you? So I didn't invent this. This is the textbook for exactly your level from one of the best publishing companies in the world. So if you said that this is a very difficult question, well, I don't know, it's given to you like to a good student. Please, yeah.
I wanted to go to the wedding, to my friend's wedding, and I did makeup, and bought a very beautiful dress. When I went to the street, go to the bus, the rain was starting, and all my trying to look best was loose, and but I was it was very funny in my friend's wedding. That's why I don't regret.
Again, so I'm so sorry about this breaking of the voice. I don't know what can be done about that, but Guzel, did you understand what she was talking about?
First, I heard that she told that she had a meeting with her friend and she was wearing a very nice dress, and that's it.
Yeah. Sorry, so how about you? Can you think of some mishaps?
Like I've just like just everyday life, okay? It's not like them answering like what I would write in my essay, for example, if I would take the
let's elaborate. Let's elaborate. If you want to understand the word elaborate. Elaborate, that means let's work a little bit deeper. So what is given again, what is given in the book is to talk with you about air mishaps in the air, then later in the sea, and then later in the road with the car and so on. So I can just give you a little bit of vocabulary about airplanes, and of course God forbid anything happened to you like that. It's just maybe you heard something. You understand that God forbid, like Боже упаси. So God forbid that anything happens like that with you. So airplanes can collide or air collision. Do you understand the meaning? Airplanes? No, you don't? It's just like...
No.
Wow, okay. Yeah, so... Let's take the dictionary. So to collide, because... Okay, can you see the translation?
Yes.
Or then the collision, and this is a very necessary vocabulary for you. Okay, collision. So airplanes can collide, and mishap. Okay, mishap. You see the meaning of the word, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's go back. So thinking about the airplanes, the airplanes can collide. Then the airplane can be hijacked. Do you know hijack? To hijack. What is to hijack an airplane?
Claw? Oh no. I don't know.
This is the vocabulary which is absolutely 100% necessary for you to know. Wow, ladies, we have to work on it. So, you see, this is the best translation here. Oh, if you follow my mouse, can you see it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, another good word is also like that, and the meaning is that you this is usually that's about the terrorist attack, So the terrorists usually they hijack airplanes, but it's also you can hijack a car. Yeah. It just when you think of people, then people can be kidnapped, you know, and hijacked. It's about the car. Okay, good. So next, collide, hijack. Then the next word is yeah. The airplane can crash. I think that you know the word crash, right?
Yes.
So you might be sick, you might get earache, you might get food poisoning, you might miss the plane, you might take the wrong plane, you might lose your ticket, you might forget your passport, you might lose your baggage or luggage. Baggage is American and luggage is British. Your plane might be delayed. The plane can leave the runway. So when the plane is take off, it usually speeds on the runway, and then it takes off. So the engine could fail, then it can catch fire. That's a very necessary term for you also. It can catch fire. Someone might plant a bomb, again talking about terrorists. Plant a bomb.
Very terrible things.
Yeah, right. And the company could go bust. The meaning is the company could go bankrupt. So these are several ideas about what can happen on a train. Of course, you can think of funny stories, like I can remember about a person who just, as I remember, that story was also on one of the textbooks. Maybe someday we will talk about this story. The person was going from, let's say, Denmark, and his destination was London. But it just happened that I think that he might have drunk a couple of drinks on the board of the plane, and he started snoozing or having a nap. He was sleeping, and you know, this very plane landed in London, but he kept on sleeping, and you know, that was not the final destination of this plane. This plane was supposed to go from Denmark to Brazil. So this person, he stays on board the plane, just sleeping, and of course then they took off, and he appeared to be in São Paulo in Brazil when he got up. So he was kind of what is going on? You understand that the flight to Brazil maybe some 14 hours, and so his wife was just waiting for him, and she just didn't know anything what happened to him. She could have thought about anything, like, you know, all of the tragic circumstances, whatever you think of. So you see, we have lots of pretty funny stories about the mishaps when things go wrong with the airplane. So can you think of something? It might have happened to you, or it might have happened, you might have read about some kind of a collision or whatever happened, or hijacking or terrorist attack, or any other things happened in the air with an airplane. Can you think of it?
I watched a film, How to Get Married for 3 days maybe. And in this film, the main hero is a woman, and she wants to be married for a young man, but he is not suggest his heart for her, and she decided to go to the island because there is a custom that the woman can suggest her heart to men, and she bought a ticket to the plane, but the plane was delayed because the terrorist attack there. I don't know any details, but and in this film she go to the island many ways, by ship, by by foot, by bus, and for her all way he has found her true love, and it's very interesting because she's a very brave woman, and during her traveling she met that boy that hijacked. Were hijacked, and they were stolen, and they stole her baggage.
Okay.
But she returned it.
Okay. Interesting. Guzel, can you think of something?
Yeah, unfortunately, it happened in my city. So, as far as I know, maybe everybody heard about it, about Boeing, which, like how to say, it was almost okay, but when it was about to land to Kazan, it just turned just to the ground, almost like 90 degrees, and it's just, how to say, just fell to the ground, and just almost the half of the plane was in the ground. All people died there, like 200 if I'm not mistaken. It was how to say, I don't know, I'm not sure about this group. So we have like something like the place where everybody goes to remember, to remind these people. And this is a very sad story, but yeah, it happened in my city about 2 years ago only.
Okay, yeah, very sad. Yeah, really, very sad story. I understand.
I think this collision and hijack are not mishaps. It's a tragic situation.
Well, yeah. If you raised kind of a very philosophical question. Why? Because if you think of tragedy usually the definition of tragedy was given in the Greek classical drama, and from the point of view of Greek classical drama, only when gods interfere, then it is a real tragedy. Like, let's say about Romeo and Juliet. Gods didn't like the situation which happened in Verona. They wanted to punish people, and so that was why gods didn't allow to a person who was carrying the note to the city where Romeo was. Gods didn't allow for this note to be brought there because of the plague, which is disease, or some other things which happened, and that is why, you know, they died. This is a tragedy, because gods wanted them to die to punish people. So you remember that after Romeo and Juliet died, people just reconciled. People began to live in peace. So that's a tragedy.
Their mistake.
What is that?
They have understood their mistake.
Yeah, right. But when you think of an airplane collision or an airplane crash, so from the point of view of Greek classical drama, this is a mishap. This is what people did wrong, but not gods. You know, gods have nothing to do with this, like I said, tragedy. Gods didn't want anybody to die there. So, but that's again, that's the definition from the Greek classical drama of tragedy. So it's just people's negligence. I just want you to know this word, people negligence. And that's, I want you to see the translation of this word, because this is necessary. So you see, that's people's negligence. This is a good translation. You see? Or you can say so. And this is not a tragedy. This is a people's negligence. That's what I'm trying to say here. But that's up to you if you want to. Of course, the tragedy has the meaning in our everyday language. Like you said, that was a tragedy. I understand, but for me, it's better when somebody should be punished for this error, which brought so many deaths. And when you think of tragedy, nobody should be punished, because gods punished people. So, but this is my opinion. That's what I think. But thank you for your sharing. Okay, let's move on. So, I don't want to stay on this sad note. So that is why I just want to remind you that this person who just got up in São Paulo, Brazil, he was kind of a, what is going on? And so then he went to the customs and explained everything, and they told him, I don't remember what actually happened. So somehow they told him that we can take you back to London, but only after, let's say, the next flight to London will be in 8 hours. So he's got 8 hours to do nothing, to just stay in the stuffy airport in Brazil, and he never been before in Brazil or somewhere across the Atlantic Ocean. So he just walked around the airport, and then he decided to sneak out illegally. I'm just giving you the new vocabulary for you. Sneak out illegally of the airport. So he took a taxi, and he pretended that he is the citizen of Brazil. So of course he lied. So he just went on a tour, on an excursion, to see the sights of São Paulo, of Brazil's capital. Okay. Of course, when he came back, nobody allowed him to enter the airport, because he broke the international rules. Do you understand that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, and somehow, I don't know, but you see, it's just a mishap with a person who just, first of all, he drank, and then he illegally left the airport. That's some kind of a person, you can understand, right?
The situation.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. So what happened at the end, people just told him, okay, let you go back to London. So people just allowed him to go back to London. But what at the end, he just wrote a statement. And in this statement he said that all barriers between countries should be lifted. And this should allow people to live and work wherever they want, wherever they like. So all barriers should be lifted. Barriers should be lifted, that means all barriers between countries should be taken away. And people should be allowed to move everywhere, anytime. What do you think? Is it a good idea or not?
It is a good idea, but he is traveling now. That's why the barriers are lifted yet already.
Yeah, but you know, he was punished. I don't remember, but he was punished for breaking the international rules. But you know, his idea was, we don't need any barriers. We don't need any borders between the countries. It's just let people move from one country to another without any barriers. Do you agree?
It gives a lot of advantages and opportunities to learn and to traveling.
Right. Guzel, what do you think?
It depends. Like, when you just thinking like on the surface, it is great that people don't have any barriers, can travel and go anywhere they want. But actually, then some kind of obtaining a visa, all that process is just so it's a bureaucracy, and it's so difficult to get a visa to the USA, to the Great Britain was just almost sometimes impossible. I remember my friend told me they had a group of 10 people. They wanted to go to London, and they had 10 people. Only 2 obtained the visa. So they had all the money, everything, but they couldn't obtain the visa. So they wanted to go there on a purpose. They wanted to improve their English and something like that. But then it can be, I think it can be uncontrollable because everybody goes wherever they want. I don't know, all people here, I don't know, just maybe people who I talk to want to go to the USA, and if all Russian people all just, like, you know, pack their all in baggage and go to the USA, just the first day they were allowed to do that. I think that immigration and something like that will be just, it will be in a very terrible situation, and I think it's not a high time to do that now.
Okay.
They're not ready.
All right. Diana, do you want to add something?
I agree with Guzel.
Okay. Right. All right. So let's move on. Thank you for sharing. And that's a very funny story. Maybe one day I will publish it on my page in VK. So let's move on. And the next question is, can you think of you know, usually we think of the ideas for the best holiday or the best vacation. Holiday is British and vacation is American. So, can you think of the ideas for a disastrous holiday? Disastrous holiday or disastrous vacation? Or, I can say, which holiday or which vacation was the worst ever and why for you? Worst holiday, worst vacation ever for you?
May I?
Yeah, sure.
May I say?
Yeah.
I last summer I with my family went to the hotel to our friends by the sea in Slovak, and which they gave us a room in the wooden department, I don't know, yes, in the hotel, and we couldn't sleep at night because there are a lot of mosquitoes. There were a lot of mosquitoes there, and we were sleeping under the and recovering одеяло,
blanket,
blankets, and when we woke up, we woke up next day. Was raining very hard, and we couldn't swim in the sea. It was the worst holiday
ever.
And we,
worst holiday ever. This is an idiom. This is a phrase. Worst holiday ever. Okay, just excuse me. I will have to open the door. Just hold on.
You're speaking English excellent.
Oh, thank you. Because I practice a lot. So use all the opportunities and speak as more as you can. And listen to BBC. This is your key to success, okay?
Yeah, excuse me. I just opened the door. That's all right. So, the worst, you said lots of mosquitoes, and then you went to the sea for swimming, or what? What happened?
What?
You said that the next day you went to the sea for swimming, or what did you say?
Yes, there was storm, and it was raining very hard, and they couldn't swim in the sea. All the sea went up of the barriers.
Okay.
It was a big disaster.
Okay. Güzel, how about yourself?
Actually, I don't have any experience traveling somewhere. I've never been abroad, and always in Russia. So, I'm always in my city. I don't know. As far as I remember myself, I'm always studying. That's why I don't remember the word. What does it mean? Like vacation. But just to remember my childhood, maybe. I remember that I was maybe about 10 years old. My parents was used to send me to the countryside to my grandmother and forget about me. So what happened? I was there like for 3 months. So first, I didn't know that I have an allergy, but my grandmother has a bee garden or garden bee. I don't know how to say that. So, but actually, I didn't have a problem when I was in the house and I was walking around in the garden and everything was okay. I went to the shop and bought some ice cream, and I was with my friend, and the swarm of bees attacked us. And in that case, I've never been able to run in a very fast way. That's why they attacked me it was so many times. Then I just went home. I was so red. I felt so bad. I was about to die actually. And after that, I always had some, just only one small bee attacked me, and it had really terrible consequences on my skin and everything. I couldn't breathe. I just was gasping the air all the time, and if I didn't, so I was always worried about pills, and it was almost just impossible to stay there anymore. I went to ride the bicycle, and I injured my knee, and I returned there just almost disabled. It was really awful. I just didn't want to go there. Just but yeah, now I don't go so often to my grandmother because of my allergy. But I wouldn't like to have that kind of vacation in my life anymore.
Okay, good. Very interesting story. Yeah. So, like you said about bee garden. Well, I think that this is a good term. Well, there is the technical term, but I don't think that people use it a lot. Apiary. Apiary, like you said in Russian, but this is a technical term. But still, what we need to know is beehives, and this is the word which you definitely need to know, beehive. I want you to learn this word. Okay, good, interesting. All right, let's move on. We still have some 10 minutes to go. So the next question is about the, let's say, 20th century problems. So one of the, today we talk about the disasters, the problems of our age. So one of the problems, some people say that it will be possible for everybody to live till the age of 130 years. So what do you think? Is it a good thing to know, to live till 130? I mean, that's for your generation, not for my generation, but your generation should live till the age of 130. Do you think it's a good idea?
No, it's a good idea.
Why?
Because a person is born to live so long, and he doesn't have so many strength and possibilities to do something. I think so.
Yeah, Guzel?
I'm being ambivalent about that. Just like on the one hand, it's really great that you are able to live long and to be able, I don't know, you can be able to travel all over the world, to do everything what you want and finish all the things what you wanted to cover. Just be always with your relatives, with your friends. But it is great, but you know, for example, my parents always say like, oh no, to live till 80, oh how I will be bored. And like Nana told about that. I don't know, it depends on you how you are gonna spend your time. I don't know, I would maximize my life and I would like to live to 113, but I'm thinking about the whole world. All people will start living like by that so old age. I think the world will be overcrowded, especially if in China or somewhere, maybe in Russia, the demographic problem will be solved, but in other countries, it will be a disaster. That's why, I don't know, maybe it is too much.
Okay, so you see this new vocabulary like the life expectancy will be 130 years. All right, so in order to get that, you have to, let's say, eradicate cancers. Eradicate cancers. So the meaning is do you think it will be possible to eradicate cancers?
There are a lot of scientists and doctors want to eradicate these cancers, but it's not possible now. But I hope it will be possible because people are needed in this medicine or some other ways to survive. It's very useful. It will be very useful if they open this.
Okay, Good.
this way.
Yeah. Guzel?
Um, I think that just according to the articles, scientists write that cancer is just almost it is almost impossible to eradicate that because it always in the process of modification, and scientists are always working on it, but they are not able to solve it. Actually, my relatives, two of my relatives died from cancer, and we tried everything. We tried so many operations, nothing helped. And I would be more than happy to know that kind of magic stick will be invented one day. It will be great, but I'm being pessimistic. I don't believe it.
All right. Well, as what I know is, for example, talking to the American people who I work with, yeah, you can say longevity, right? But I'm just life expectancy. I'm just trying to give you some more something else to expand your vocabulary. So, talking to some Americans, they would say that most of cancers are curable. Most of cancers are curable. And again, this is just for you the vocabulary. Well, good, but at the same time, you know, just if you think of me, I am, let's say next month, I'm turning 62 years old. I'm turning 62 years old. Okay? So, that means that some people say that I'm very young for my age. And so
Yes.
that means that 130, like you said, is not that bad. If I'm pretty young at the age of 62, then probably it's good. But there is another problem. Even like you said, that it might be boring when a person is keeps on living till the age of 130. But there is another problem. You know, old people can be a nuisance for everybody. Do you understand the word nuisance?
Раздражение.
Yeah, or another term is they can be a pain in the neck. That's an idiom, a pain in the neck. You understand that, right? So, how would you treat people of the age of 130? How would you treat them?
To help them not to feel pain in the neck.
Well, will you treat them with regards, with respect, because they might be nuisance. Just think about somebody living together with you in your apartment who is over 100 years, and this person might be a nuisance, a pain in your neck. So how would you treat this person?
May give my opinion. That's yes, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Or Diana wanted. Okay, that's an interesting point. Actually, my mother, he is works at the hospital, and lots of people come. You know, she's a nurse, and she's always like working with people who are I don't know how to say that. So they are staying at that hospital all the time. And they had a woman who was my wife. She was terrifying, all the stuff there actually, because I don't know, maybe she wanted more attention to her. She wanted to talk to everyone there. She didn't sleep the whole night, and all the staff was sitting with her, talking to her because she didn't want to be alone. And that, they all people that for the why she came there, what they want. They actually, my mother told me that they didn't treat because there is nothing to treat. They gave her some pills, and she went home. Then her course of, taking some, the medical care finished. But they didn't help her. All of them was like thinking, judging her that what she's doing here. She lived so much, and what she wants here, she wants to live still 130. And yeah, so I give you the doctor's opinion, and all people they thought like this, unfortunately.
All right.
But if I were a doctor, I wouldn't mind their age. If it is my duty, doesn't matter. Everybody has the right to live, and that's why I wouldn't think about that and would treat with respect.
Okay, thank you so much. The time is up, and I've been enjoying, as always, conversations with you. So please, ladies, mind your vocabulary. Please start some new vocabulary which we touched upon during our conversation. And I hope to see you next Friday, and of course I wish you to have a very good weekend. And never ever, Diana, again, never forget that the most important thing is, even if you, well, God forbid that it happens to you, even if you fail this Russian national exam, the most important part is that you can communicate in a different language. I can understand your ideas, and your ideas are pretty nice. We didn't use a single word in Russian, and you communicated these ideas to me. I understood you. This is the most important point for me. I learned some new things from you, and I hope that you learned something new from me. That's for me the most important thing. Okay? Any questions? Any comments? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too, but I'm just wondering, what do you think about that? About the story which I told? It is good. What do you think? So, for example, we're not talking about you. We're not talking about one man who's 62 and who has nose and span in the neck.
Well, I've been working as a DJ in a local disco club for almost 30 years, let's say beginning from the year 1976 till 2006. I worked as a DJ. So if you ask a DJ, what is your favorite music? You know what a DJ would answer. I have no favorite music. I will just play any kinds of music which people ask. So when you ask me this question, yeah, probably I will not have a direct answer right now. I will have to think it over, and maybe later, talking with you over again, maybe I will find a correct answer. Right now, I prepared these questions knowing that this question will be interesting for you to talk about. So that was my point. Not about giving the solutions. I'm not a solution giver, you know. I'm a practical person making you talk. I'm a DJ, if you would like. So you understand my point?
Yeah, but one thing, just yes or no. Are you disappointed when you heard that kind of story?
Well, actually, it happened to me because, you know, my mom died when she was 95, and at first she was in a hospital, like you said, but she was such a nice lady. Everybody loved her in the hospital. but at the same time, I just know about the people you mentioned. So it can happen in life. And I would say that it doesn't matter what age you are, but again, you see, you want me to give you a solution, and I don't want to, you know, teachers, we usually have, let's say, another vote. It's just like, you know, the teacher's statement, what teacher says is always kind of a law, as a rule. I don't want to be, you know, a dictator in my classroom.
I do.
You see, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So that is why the solution is yours, the decision is yours. Okay?
Okay, you escaped from answering for the question.
Yeah.
But okay, anyway.
You might be right. You might be right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. It is always, I enjoy your classes, but yeah, I'm super busy now. I passed my examination. I think that I will always participate here.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending time with us and
Yeah.
for thinking about our English and helping us to improve.
Yeah.
And take care and have a nice day.
Same to you. Bye for
I
now.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Thank you. Good.
Bye bye.
Bye.
You are currently the only person in this conference.